Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, 3 local residents are facing multiple drug and child endangerment charges.
And SU is the latest member of a nationwide effort to combat hunger. Citrus TV reporter Conor Wight found out what new steps the Hendricks Chapel food pantry is taking to help.
And new bells are ringing in London. Wedding bells to be exact, after the announcement of a new engagement. Citrus TV News starts right now.
This is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
3 people from the town of Cortlandville are facing drug charges after allegedly being found with meth, heroin, marijuana, and more. Good evening, I'm Mike Riccardi.
And I'm Gilat Melamed. The Cortland County Sheriff's Office said that 4 children were also found in the vehicle and were later released to family members.
Police identified the driver as 33-year-old Jessica Torricelli. The 2 passengers were identified as 22-year-old Alexander Hale and 47-year-old James Glover.
All 3 face misdemeanor drug possession and child endangerment charges. They were arraigned in the town of Cortlandville Court.
And a Syracuse teen faces multiple charges after running from police yesterday. Officials say the 18-year-old ran from an officer approaching him about an unrelated warrant for trespassing. The teen dropped a stolen handgun and a bag of cocaine as he ran into a nearby store. He is in custody at the Onondaga County Justice Center waiting to be arraigned. Police arrested an upstate New York corrections officer after trying to bring drugs into a prison. Police charged 27-year-old Ryan Santos with first-degree attempted promoting prison contraband. Officers released Santos and he is scheduled to appear in court tomorrow. And police need your help finding a missing Syracuse teenager. Family members told police that 17-year-old Tatiana Martinez went missing last Monday. The mother says she told her family she would be home for Thanksgiving, but Tatiana never came home. Tatiana has gone missing several times before, but her mother says this is the longest she has been missing. Police believe her disappearance is not suspicious.
The holiday season is known for delicious food, but not everyone is fortunate enough to enjoy a holiday feast. Citrus TV reporter Conor Wight is here in studio with ways that SU is helping to combat hunger.
According to the USDA, over 12% of households in the United States were food insecure in 2016. This means that over the course of the year, these households were at times uncertain of where and how they would get their next meal. Students are not immune from food insecurity, even here at Syracuse. SU joined hundreds of other colleges and universities this year in Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week for the first time to help combat the problem. During the week before Thanksgiving break, turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes were on the brains of many SU students. The Hendricks Chapel Food Pantry took an opportunity before the holiday break to remind the SU community that not everyone would enjoy a bountiful feast on Thanksgiving Day.
Now is a good time to kind of talk to others and just let them know that not everybody has the fortune to have nutritious meals, and if there's a way for them to contribute, even a can of food or a small donation of money, we will try to keep our pantry stocked for those that are in need.
The College and University Food Bank Alliance says that Hunger and Homelessness Awareness Week began in 1975 and that 750 groups, including colleges and universities, participated. This year, SU is one of these groups for the first time.
Our college or university is not different from others across the country, that there are a lot of students out there that are hungry and also homeless too, which is kind of surprising for a lot of people.
The Hendricks Chapel used the week to help grow its resources, which are open to all SU and SUNY ESF students year-round.
And they can take a bag and take as much as fills up that bag.
Pantry members say food can be a prevalent yet hidden struggle for many students.
It was always food that was the one thing that kind of fell off of their budget. They could pay their rent, but they couldn't always buy enough food to be healthy.
And we're advertising it so that students can come take it, because we know that there are some students in need but don't want to say that they're in need, so we want to help them.
Students are always encouraged to come and use the pantry when needed. If you're interested in making a donation or volunteering at the pantry, visit the Hendricks Dean's office in room 003.
And the season of giving is upon us. This year marks the second Spin and Give event, which is a fundraiser that collects donations to support the Upstate Golisano Children's Hospital and the Food Bank of Central New York. The collections will take place this Friday. Participants can donate to try fitness activities such as indoor cycling, yoga, and blacklight Zumba. It's at Archbold Gymnasium and open to all students and staff. The LGBT Resource Center named their new interim director. This comes after the past director left to work at Westchester University. Rob Poosh will serve as interim director until a permanent one is found. Poosh has been part of the Syracuse University community for 20 years and is also the associate director for Project Advance.
Well, Gilat, I didn't think it was too cold today, but man, when that wind gets going, it gets chilly.
Yeah, the wind chills really make a difference. I mean, I flew in here for Thanksgiving break today, and my plane was rocking all over the place with those winds. Jessica Torricelli is here in studio to tell us how the wind chills will continue into the night.
Yeah, and it's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas today. The wind was about 16 miles per hour, bringing the temperatures from in the 30s to the low 20s. Really chilly for a walk to class anytime from 15 minutes or longer. It got pretty cold out there, especially needed a hat for today. And I can tell you those conditions will probably continue tomorrow, but it'll be a little bit sunnier, so we might see nicer weather. The cloud cover was also pretty widespread this morning, so made it even colder. I'll tell you if we can see any sun, rain, or snow coming up in this week in my full weather forecast.
And coming up, confusion over who has the power to appoint a new agency director in the U.S. government. President Trump appointed one person and the outgoing director appointed someone else. Find out who really has the authority to make the final decision.
Plus, the Pope takes a visit to Myanmar during tense times. Why the Catholic community hopes his visit doesn't spark violence. We'll be right back.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Got a quarter?
You're watching Citrus TV News with Mike Riccardi, Gilat Melamed, and Jess Torricelli with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
Congressional Republicans have a busy December ahead of them. Representatives and senators will attempt to pass a large tax overhaul to submit to President Trump by the end of the year.
They are also working on several tasks, including avoiding a Christmas-time government shutdown. President Trump plans to address this large to-do list with congressional leaders in a White House meeting tomorrow.
And the fate of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau will now be determined in court. This comes in the wake of President Trump's attempt to appoint Mick Mulvaney as the agency's director.
Trump's announcement came hours after the outgoing director named someone else as his successor, Deputy Director Leandra English. Last night, English filed a lawsuit to block Trump's appointment. The Justice Department's Office of Legal Counsel is drafting an opinion on who has the authority to appoint the next director.
And big news for all of you royal family fans. Prince Harry and actress Meghan Markle are engaged. The couple will officially tie the knot next spring.
Harry and Meghan first met through a mutual friend and began dating in the summer 1 year ago. This morning, crowds gathered outside of Kensington Palace to cheer on the couple. When asked when Harry knew Meghan was the one, he responded, "The very first time we met."
The Egyptian military launched airstrikes in response to a deadly mosque attack in Egypt last Friday night. This comes after the Egyptian president promised the country would respond with brute force to the attack that left more than 300 people dead and more than 120 injured.
Though the Egyptian military targeted militant hideouts, the number of airstrikes and targets have not been disclosed yet. No groups have claimed responsibility for the attack yet, but Egypt says Sufi Muslims could have been the target.
Following the video that a CNN team released of men in Libya being sold for money, Rwanda announced that they will offer refuge to enslaved African migrants.
The country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs announced that they are willing to work with the African Union and other global organizations to ensure comfort for those in need. Libya has since opened an investigation into the illegal slave market.
Fear of Catholic backlash grows around Pope Francis's trip to Myanmar, which starts today. The nation's Catholic community worries the Pope's potential statements regarding the nation's ethnic cleansing problem will spark further unrest.
The Pope's visit comes amidst hundreds of thousands of Muslims fleeing Myanmar's Rakhine state to avoid massacres, arson, and rape by soldiers and Buddhists.
Francis could comment on the cleansing during his masses Wednesday and Thursday, and Myanmar hopes this does not perpetuate the violence.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
And these were your current temperatures across the country today. Getting cooler throughout this winter season, 50s and 60s and even some 70s. No 90s to look at, so that's good. We're getting into the better weather. And then your current temperatures throughout New York were in the low 30s, but tomorrow that's going to change and we're going to see almost a double in temperatures, around 50s, high of 50s, and it's going to be sunny for most of the day, so should be pretty nice. Even a little bit of wind throughout the day, but shouldn't be too much to not have a nice day. No rain. So really great day. Throughout the week, we'll be getting a little bit warmer. Not too much to look at in the aspect of rain and no snow really until Friday night. Might have a possibility of seeing a few flurries. Cloudy throughout most of this week though, so should be a pretty typical early winter.
Now, Jess, for everybody heading over to the Carrier Dome tonight to watch the Syracuse basketball game, what type of weather can they expect when they're heading over and when they're leaving the game?
So it's going to be pretty chilly. That wind chill today was pretty bad, and as it gets darker, it's just going to get even colder. So low of 20 degrees. So I would say bring a heavier coat, a hat, earmuffs would be great.
Now, last week, luckily enough, all the snow melted before my annual Turkey Bowl game. I mean, Jess, how many days do you think we have left of 50-degree temperatures? Can we see any more?
It looks to be up until about next week, early next week, and then maybe we'll see some snow later next week, but I wouldn't say too much before we leave.
All right, thanks, Jess.
All right, thanks, Jess.
And coming up, Cyber Monday sales could break records today. How much money Americans are predicted to spend.
And a volcano in Bali is causing massive evacuations and flight cancellations. Don't change that channel.
You've messed up your son's haircut.
Mom?
Do you A, try to fix it?
Like it never happened.
B, work with what you got? Or C, show solidarity?
Thank you, baby.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees.
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
If you see news happening on campus, in Syracuse, or across the nation, call the Citrus TV newsroom, 315-443-1177, or tweet at Citrus TV News, your campus news leader.
Tell your bank account to brace itself. Today is Cyber Monday. It is forecasted to be the largest online shopping day in U.S. history. Economists say Americans will spend a whopping $6.6 billion online. Americans spent $5 billion online on Black Friday. And a new acquisition deal gives a whole new meaning to the phrase buying time. Broadcaster and magazine publisher Meredith Corporation will buy Time Incorporated in a $2.8 billion deal. The all-cash transaction is expected to close in spring 2018. Combined, the companies will reach an audience of more than 200 million consumers. Meredith CEO Stephen Lacey says the company expects to generate billions of dollars after the deal is finalized.
The Indonesian island of Bali has begun evacuations ahead of a massive volcanic eruption. More than 100,000 people have been called to evacuate the area. The volcano began spewing ash last Tuesday and has recently shifted to a maximum threat level of 4. Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency is pushing people to leave the danger zone, but airport closures have left thousands of people stranded. More than 150,000 households in Sweden are getting their power in a very surprising way. A power plant near Stockholm is burning clothes from retailer H&M's central warehouse as fuel in an effort to eliminate fossil fuel use. The plant spokesperson says the clothes, along with recycled wood and garbage, are considered burnable material. H&M Communications says the clothes are being burned because they're deemed unsafe for wear. So far, more than 15 tons of H&M clothes have been burned. Miss South Africa is now Miss Universe. Demi Nell Peters beat out first runner-up Miss Colombia and second runner-up Miss Jamaica to become the first South African woman to win the pageant since 1978. Women's self-defense was a cornerstone in the 22-year-old's platform, and during the competition she tackled topics such as issues women face in the workplace.
Coming up in sports, one Syracuse football player rewrites the record books. There's a challenge between a turtle and a piece of fruit tonight in the Dome, and women's basketball found their own paradise. We'll be right back.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it.
You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Hey? God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Come on, it's not that hard.
My big man fingers are having a problem with these little tiny buttons.
Whoa, watch it there. Your blood pressure's gonna go through the roof.
Tell me about it. I'm trying to learn how to get it down. Instead, it keeps going up.
High blood pressure can increase the risk for heart attack or stroke. Learn how to keep yours at a healthy range.
Ever hear a voice command? Just say text barbershop to 97779.
That's not what I said.
Just give me that. Now my blood pressure's up.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Remember that time when Syracuse fans looked at the football schedule and could pencil in a win against Boston College? My, oh my, how times have changed. It was senior day in the Dome, and Steve Ishmael right there. He has been a spectacular season all year long, and we get right to him. Mid-first quarter, he catches a slant across the middle, takes it 37 yards to the end zone. He ties the game at 7-7 against BC. Second quarter now, Rex Culpepper in for the start, and he finds Irvin Phillips, and that was just a beautiful dime. Cuts the lead to 28-14, and that would be all the SU highs in this one. Culpepper there intercepted. That one returned for 46 yards. BC absolutely dominating, and A.J. Dillon says, your house? No, my house. That is his third touchdown of the game so far. He had 193 yards, and BC was not done. Darius Wade, a 46-yard touchdown pass to put the score at 42-14. BC absolutely thrashing the Cuse. One more opportunity for SU to score, and Culpepper fumbles it, and that's pretty much Syracuse's season so far. a 4-8 record, and Zaire Franklin signing autographs after the game, his last game ever in a Syracuse uniform. Well, despite the lackluster finish, one player has shined all season long. Steve Ishmael recorded 11 receptions in the game to give him 105 on the season, breaking the SU single-season record set by Amba Edatawo last year. And his 187 receiving yards against BC moved him into sole first place in program history, just ahead of NFL Hall of Famer Marvin Harrison. And when you break a Marvin Harrison record, people seem to notice. That's why Steve Ishmael was unanimously voted to the first team All-ACC. He finished this year top 3 in the nation in receptions and receiving yards. The conference also named Irv Phillips and Paris Bennett to the second team. And Cole Murphy got some recognition as well. The kicker was voted to the All-ACC third team. And as kids, we hear about the tortoise and the hare, but I don't know about the turtle and the orange. Well, that changes tonight. Syracuse hosts Maryland tonight on the men's side of the Big Ten ACC Challenge. Syracuse is undefeated so far through 5 games, but the big question is whether or not Tyus Battle will play. He was taking pregame warmups. SU's leading scorer injured his lower back on Wednesday against Toledo. And I didn't know Washington, D.C. was paradise, but for Syracuse women's basketball, it looks like it. Coach Q's squad dominated the Paradise Jam Invitational this weekend in the nation's capital. The women took down Wisconsin and Vanderbilt before finishing the tourney off against George Washington. It's almost like they planned it that way. And for Syracuse volleyball, the show must go on. The Orange qualified for the National Invitational Volleyball Championship. SU is one of 32 teams in the tournament field. Leonard Yellen's squad finished the regular season at 20-13 and tied for 5th in the ACC at 12-8. And just when it looks like the Bills were taking a turn for the worst, they turn their season around and pick up a win against Kansas City. A huge win for them after dropping 3 straight. Tyrod Taylor back in the starting lineup for this one, and it was huge. They take down the Chiefs 16-10. The defense held KC to just 10 points. And for a big rivalry matchup next weekend, the AFC leading Patriots travel north, and we'll see if this defense can slow down Touchdown Tom. For Gang Green, it was a different story. The Jets dropped their second straight in a 35-27 loss to the Panthers. The loss pushes New York back to 4-7 this season and just 1-5 in their last 6. On the bright side, Robbie Anderson had a career day. The wideout brought in 6 receptions for 146 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Jets look to get back in the win column next weekend against the Chiefs. And from the field to the hardwood, a pair of New York teams are in action tonight. The Knicks host the Trailblazers at the Garden. New York has lost 2 in a row, while Portland has won back-to-back contests. And the Nets hit the road to face the Rockets down in Houston. The Nets have just 4 wins in the past month. Meanwhile, James Harden and company have just 4 losses this entire season. On a sadder note, though, guys, former Syracuse running back Walter Reyes died last night at the age of 36. He's Syracuse's second all-time leading rusher. For the past week or so, he had been complaining of stomach pain, and last night it seemed to just take its toll. He was, again, as I said, he was just 36.
Very sad loss for the Orange community. Now, Matt, obviously disappointing season for the Orange with a 4-8 record. It doesn't get them into a bowl game. What sort of positives can they take, going into the future?
I think when you look at Eric Dungy's season as a whole, he has showed absolute flashes of brilliance. Next year as a senior, he should show the same again, even be one of the nation's leading quarterbacks. I mean, he was putting up outstanding numbers before he got hurt. And then when you look at some of the recruits that are coming in, 2 4-star recruits on the offensive line, so that should definitely help him stay healthy next year.
Football season may be over, but basketball season, exciting night tonight with the Big Ten ACC matchup. Do you like Syracuse to win?
I do like Syracuse to win. When you look at Maryland so far, Justin Jackson, who's their star player, hasn't had really a star season so far, scoring just 9 points a game. If Tyus Battle can play, he's somebody that has shown the ability to score 30 points on any given night. And Frank Howard, too, 25 points against Toledo when Tyus went out with that lower back injury, so he's shown the ability to step up as well. A lot of young players, a lot of tall players on this Syracuse team as well.
Now, the basketball team has a huge matchup against Kansas this coming Saturday. I mean, when we look at the season as a whole, what's the outlook looking like? We're undefeated now, but obviously, competition's going to get tougher.
Well, people weren't expecting much of the Syracuse team. You obviously lose 6 of your top 7 scorers from last year, but I don't think people anticipated the defense that this team would have. When you look at the size and the length that you have in the 2-3 zone, not a lot of people know how to play against that, especially young players. And when you look at the ACC and when you look at the country as a whole, it's continuing to trend towards freshmen one and dones. When they come in and they've played man-to-man their entire lives and they see this huge 2-3 zone, that's something that can certainly shake them up.
Well, hopefully Tyus Battle is back out on the hardwood. Thanks, Matt.
Thanks, Matt. We'll be right back after the break.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy.
Or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh, look at the rain. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
All right, thanks for coming back, Jess. What should I wear to class tomorrow?
I would say something similar to today, but we will see some more sun throughout the day from about, 8 in the morning to 2 p.m. It'll be pretty sunny.
Now, I like to cross-country ski, Jess. When do you think we might see some more snow? Me personally, I want to see it, but I don't mind waiting a little while either.
Maybe not for skiing anytime soon, but I would say Friday it's going to probably rain later at night, and it's going to be about 28 degrees, so we might have a good chance of seeing some snow. A little bit of flurries throughout the nighttime, maybe early into Saturday morning.
And I'm more of a downhill skier, actually, so I'm looking forward.
I'm not athletic enough for that.
I'm looking forward to that.
I just fall.
But Jess, you're talking about that snow on Friday. What's going to be the nicest day this week, though, overall?
Well, I would say, tomorrow and Wednesday are going to be pretty sunny overall, so great day, not too much wind in the forecast, and, no rain or snow for those days, so it seems pretty good.
All right. Thanks, Jess. And in New Jersey, one Santa Claus made sure that Christmas layaways did not stay away. The man, only identified as Charlie K., paid for over $10,000 worth of Toys R Us layaway gifts.
He also donated $2,000 to the Toys for Tots program. Charlie said he was inspired to give back to his community while shopping for Christmas presents for his son.
Well, Gilat, that's really what the Christmas spirit is all about. It's, giving back, sharing your wealth with others, and, just, having this whole joyous occasion.
Yes, certainly. I mean, especially on Cyber Monday, everybody's, going out to buy stuff. Why not give back a little, right?
I know. I mean, this year, I'm trying to think of, what do I want for Christmas? What am I going to ask for?
Right.
And, I just, every time I thought about it, I don't need that. I got enough. Maybe time to give back a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't started my holiday shopping yet, but definitely I'm going to be looking for gifts for other people, and maybe I'll get 1 or 2 things for myself, but giving back.
Well, you better hurry up before,
before the sales go away,
well,
yeah.
That, and, you might run into some shipping problems.
That too.
All right, that's all for Citrus TV News Live at 6. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at Citrus TV News for more. I'm Mike Riccardi.
And I'm Gilat Melamed. Check out our website, CitrusTV.com, for these stories and more, and follow us on Twitter at Citrus TV News. Have a great night, Syracuse.